How are you doing? My name is Zachary Delano Middleton, and I want to introduce you to my business that's called Grace to Cultivate LLC. What is Grace to Cultivate LLC? Well, first off, it is a business. It's not a nonprofit, not a ministry. It's a business, but we do believe that businesses can help people. When we think about our mission statement is that we are an imagination brand, that from a posture of gratitude, we use storytelling, ideation, and investment for the greater good. What we sell specifically, starting with my young adult fiction book and books and resources for parents and educators and ultimately for students. The through line, all of our products, all of our services is one through line. We're helping people to reimagine work. Reimagine work in a way that we're not just surviving, but thriving. And how can we not just work hard, because everybody works hard. I think that they're doing ethical and moral business. Everyone's working hard, but how do we work smart and not just smarter and not just harder? When I think about all of the different things that I want to do in starting out, I had a friend of mine who's actually going to be one of the guests on our podcast, I think episode 3. His name is Gary Robinson. He's a business consultant. And one of the things that he said was, he was like, Zach, you're an author and you have a vlog. And that's true. Initially, that's all it is. It's the author's vlog. However, I think it has the potential to grow, to build, and expand. And a few other shout outs I want to give as we get into the Vision Cast. I want to give a shout out to Macklin Mosley. He does some incredible work from a graphic design standpoint. His company, Mana Mosa, they do phenomenal work. If you've seen our logo, it's called the Imagination Pencil. And it ties into our core values of accessibility, imagination, and cultivation. Check him out. He's online. Check into him as well. We also have Shantae Darby. Every time you hear our videos start or get off the ground, there's going to be one theme song. That's the Grace to Cultivate theme song that was composed by a guy named Shantae Darby. Does phenomenal work. He's also does some cinematography, videography, and his company is called, the company he works with is Kingdom Cultured Media. They do some great work. Also, gentleman holding the camera, as you see, and you're going to see some amazing content that has nothing to do with me, that does incredible work. That's Reef Mills, and that's Point Shoot Media. Do phenomenal work there. And so going back into the Vision Cast, the title, Grace to Cultivate, where did it come from? It's not an original idea. It's not an original concept or conception. I'm a Christian, and essentially it's my Christian ideals into work as it pertains to storytelling. And so there are a lot of different writers who have engaged this topic, from Augustine to, I would argue, Martin Luther King's Letter of Birmingham in Jail. Even more recently, there's a book, Culture Maker by Andy Crouch, that's been really helpful. And I have a listing of different books that are available on our blog. Check it out on our website, gracetocultivate.com, if you'd like to get more into that. But to use Crouch's his analogy, ultimately, we do not exist in and of ourselves, right? Like, even in terms of our work, it doesn't exist in and of itself, but we take the ingredients, and from the ingredients that I believe God has allowed us to engage, the triune God has allowed us to engage, we take those ingredients and then we cultivate. As a farmer takes animals and plants and cultivates and makes agriculture, or as a chef cultivates with great food ingredients to make a culinary delight. We take the human experience, we take great ideas, and we cultivate those to help other people. And so in the process, there are products and there are services that we do provide, and we do sell those products. But I think that there's a way that we can move that is very intentional about helping the next generation. And so a big part of what you're going to hear and see in the nature of Grace to Cultivate is kind of this construct of greater than a selfie. You'll hear that over and over and over again. And how do we use our social media space to help other people who are like-minded individuals doing some great work? One of the ways that you'll see that is a hashtag Grace to Cultivate, and you can even see the progress of our company. As our company grows, we're going to make it available for others in the process. Just follow that particular hashtag. Last but not least, how do we create value for you? What are the things that we can do as a company to create value for you? Well, two things. We're going to have 2 vodcasts. We're going to have one vodcast is called the Imagine Exposure Vodcast, and the other vodcast is called the Realer Than Fiction Vodcast. The Imagine Exposure Vodcast will be our weekly vodcast. The Realer Than Fiction Vodcast will be our seasonal vodcast. It'll be tied to the books that I write, that sort of thing. Imagine Exposure, how do we get started with that? No matter where I was, South Carolina, Florida, Texas, wherever, you heard the same refrain from adults and leaders who are working with young folk. Man, we really need to get these kids some exposure. We can just get these kids some exposure. Well, imagine if we could bring the exposure to them. And so that's the whole goal. And so my hope is to capture 100 plus careers, vocations, and have those professionals talk on the kid's level and answer questions that help the kid reverse engineer their own goals. One disclaimer, I'm not this is not a spiritual or a political endorsement. I'm not saying, this person's gonna run for office, that's what but I'm just saying that these are high character individuals who do really well at their skill set that can help you whatever you're trying to do, specifically the young people that are transitioning into whatever they're trying to do. The last way we want to create value is through realism fiction. And what I'll do with that is it's a deep dive on the subject matter that I want to engage. So let's say, for example, our first book is called Running After Delano. Well, with Running After Delano, that is an engagement with the Orangeburg Massacre. So I want to sit down with people who actually were alive during that time period and to be able to hear from them and to get the historical piece. The next series that I want to unveil is something called Rashard Freeman Teenage Entrepreneur. What does it look like to sit down with teenage entrepreneurs and their parents? What does it look like to sit down with people from different walks of life and to just walk with them and get a better understanding of how they cultivate? And the last one that I want to do, I'm really excited about this. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's called The Backstories of the Trampoline Academy, and that's about reimagined career development in a reimagined world. And so that's coming, and I'm excited about that. And so that's who we are. Grace to Cultivate LLC. We are a business, limited liability corporation. Our mission statement is we are an imagination brand that from a posture of gratitude, we use storytelling, ideation, and investment for the greater good. All of our products and service help you reimagine work. We sell young adult fiction. We sell resources like the 12 Ways poster. And the way that we create value for you is we have it through two vodcasts, the Imagine Exposure vodcast and the Realer Than Fiction vodcast. I thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you. And I do believe that there's grace to cultivate.